idea to just start off by going through my CGI journey. So as Tessa mentioned, my name's Ros Prosser-Evans, and I'm currently one of the operations managers within CGI Service Desk. We're an outsourcing service desk dealing with 200,000 contacts a month. We've got over 150 clients with over 450 members within our service desk. So as I briefly highlighted, reward and recognition is quite an important part of our organisation, and this is what I'm going to talk about today. So as a 5-star service desk, it would be good for you to kind of hear my kind of CGI journey. So I started back in 2016 when I joined the service management team externally. So I originally from a retail background, so quite a lot of experience with reward and recognition, working with the public and in a store kind of environment, wanting to increase my employee satisfaction and recognising my members. So this put me in a really good position to come across as a service desk manager. In a short period of time, I've managed a number of contracts within our business, Countrywide, which is an estate agency, conveyancing and surveying client, through to the Crown Prosecution Service. Our agents offer our clients a number of different IT solutions at first point of contact. In 2017, I was made the reward and recognition champion within the service desk. This provided me with the overall responsibility of managing our recognition portal, along with increasing awareness and best practice among our members. So that's a little bit about myself. So obviously I've mentioned here that we're a 5-star SDI service desk. So just a little bit around our actual journey. As I speak, we are actually currently 3 days into our 2021 audit. I've literally just come off about half an hour ago our workshop, which is one of the key parts of the certification process. So we started our journey back in 2010, achieving the 4-star accreditation only a year later. A year later after that, we decided that we were going to try for the 5-star accreditation, and we actually achieved this the first time around. We've continued this 9 years in a row, and as I mentioned, we're in the middle of our 2021 audit, and we're hoping that either later on today or tomorrow we'll be celebrating our 10th year on the trot in achieving the 5-star accreditation. So I know we're talking about reward and recognition, but I think one of the key things to understand is how you measure employee satisfaction in the first instance, because this is obviously where you're going to get key information with how to reward and recognise your members, but if what you're doing currently is successful. So reward and recognition is linked very highly with overall employee satisfaction. With this in mind, it does make sense to explain how we measure employee satisfaction within CGI. So we align everything that we do with the CGI dream. And as you can see on the screen here, this is defined as to create an environment in which we all enjoy working together and as owners contribute to building a company that we can be proud of. So we do this in a number of ways. Every 12 months, a meeting is held between the manager and their team member. It allows for an open and free dialogue around overall satisfaction within the workplace. After the meeting is held, an anonymous questionnaire is released. This is known as our Member Satisfaction Survey, or MSAP as we like to call it. The 14 questions that they're asked to complete will allow the member to rate their overall satisfaction from 1 to 10. Each quarter, we then receive visibility of both the results and the overall comments left by our members. These are then analysed. what is shared by our members in their surveys provide us as a leadership team with the information to make continual service improvements for both the members and CGI. And if you think about it, this isn't just for the leadership teams and the members. What we do to improve employee satisfaction will inevitably improve the overall service to the clients that we cover as well. One of the service improvements that we introduced was our member satisfaction assessment programme newsletter, so our MSAT newsletter. This is cascaded quarterly, and we use this as a key tool, allowing the service desk to share key areas of focus, good news stories, CGI processes around things like career development, compensation and benefits, reward and recognition, just to name a few. This year we introduced our You Said We Did area. So this was a really good opportunity for us to show not only some of the feedback that was being provided to us by our members, but also showed what we did with that feedback that we received. Because it's very good for us to share positive feedback and to say that we're looking at everything that's being provided, but to actually show everybody that some of the suggestions and the constructive feedback had been worked on and had resulted in improvements was really, really important to us. I'll leave you with this slide just for a few seconds or so, but it just be good for you to see some of the feedback that we have actually received from some of our feedback surveys over the past few quarters. I'm sure you can see that a lot of this feedback kind of covers off quite a few key areas within a business. As mentioned, some of our reward and recognition and how that's been taken on really positively. Also just the feedback that they receive from our clients as well, and this obviously improves the overall satisfaction and experience that our members have on a daily basis within CGI. So this moves on quite nicely to what is reward and recognition. So the two, even though they're quite clearly linked together, are still quite different in their ways. So reward is obviously we're giving something to someone in recognition of their services, efforts or achievements. Now this isn't obviously always applicable to every scenario, which is why we emphasise at CGI the importance of reward and recognition, because obviously this is where you're able to share appreciation for an achievement or something that somebody has done within the business. It's really important to understand the overall benefits that reward and recognition can provide your members. It's been proven to improve organisational values, enhance team efforts, increase customer satisfaction and motivate certain behaviours amongst members of staff. If you did take a little bit of time to have a look at the feedback that I shared with you from our member satisfaction surveys, you can see that our members are very positive about receiving things like positive client satisfaction feedback, and it does motivate them to want to do their role positively and in a far more efficient manner. So with all of this in mind, just giving you a bit of a background into what we look into with regards to our reward and recognition schemes. I'm now going to show you some of the examples of the things that we do within CGI to reward and recognise our members. So we work very closely with a third-party vendor known as Altrum, and gamification, or Encourage as we call it on the service desk, was introduced in 2016. It's our reward and recognition portal. Currently, although we have around about 450 people within the service desk, we actually have over 900 members collaborating together on this portal, and the collaboration is for one main kind of common goal, is to increase staff morale and engagement within the workplace. The tool enables every member to recognise each other, and it also allows managers, using their points pots that they're provided on a monthly basis, to reward and recognise. Points are then converted into cash that can be used within the portal boutique. So the boutique offers a number of different digital products such as Amazon, Xbox credit, Love to Shop vouchers. For all the coffee lovers out there, we've got Costa and Starbucks credit, just to name a few. And all of this that I've mentioned that we have within our boutique, where our members are able to purchase these digital items, has all come from feedback from our members of things that they would like to see, that they would be able to use their rewards and purchase. We also offer the opportunity to donate points to charity as part of our commitment to corporate social responsibility. So that was something that we introduced over COVID, because obviously it's very, very difficult to organise a lot of our kind of charity events that we used to have, additional dress down days, bake-offs and all sorts. So this was a really good way in a virtual digital manner for us to continue our efforts with CSR. We encourage reward and recognition for a number of different things, including KPI performance. So members are rewarded each month for achieving targets against first time fix, call quality and average handling time. We also encourage celebration on achievements such as work-based anniversaries and achieving milestones through receiving badges. Managers are also encouraged to use the portal to share knowledge articles, sharing best practice, which may be contract specific or just sharing good news within their teams. We've also had a number of new managers within the business recently, so gamification is utilised to share knowledge on our new members, and they just share facts and a little bit of background about themselves. So it is very informal in its manner as well. We have always had a mechanism to be able to reward our members and analysts for things that they do within the workplace, but we introduced an employee of the month. So this sees analysts, support members and managers nominated each month. So the managers, using a set of kind of KPI project-based rationale, will nominate a member of their team. The support managers and the operational team will also do the same, so nobody is left out at all. And using the gamification portal, those that are nominated are then rewarded with points, and the recognition shared across the desk for all to see. So it's great for the member themselves to see that they're rewarded and recognised, but it's also really, really key for everyone else to see that member's been recognised. And within the portal itself, we will encourage people to go to, as you can see some of the examples there of where people have been recognised. You can then congratulate them, you can provide a comment, you can like the recognition. So it's sharing that good news story with everyone across the desk. I mentioned it earlier, we receive a lot of customer satisfaction, positive, constructive, but we like to make sure that everybody knows about the positive customer satisfaction that is received on the desk. The overall customer journey is really, really important to us at CGI. So sharing that positive feedback is something that we can do quite quite successfully through our gamification portal. So we have a customer satisfaction survey that is sent to our clients on resolution of their tickets. The surveys are then analysed by our managers for both positive and constructive feedback. Whilst we use the constructive feedback to make improvements for the customer journey, the positive feedback is shared with our members. Our gamification customer satisfaction champion communicates our CSS daily winners to the managers and rewards them with points on the portal. This not only rewards the members for their efforts, but it also provides opportunity to share good news across the desk. So another thing that we encourage on the desk, and again, I think you can kind of see a trait that we are doing some formal recognition, but we also try and mix it a lot with informal recognition. So it's not always about the day-to-day tasks that need to be completed on the service desk. So we like to encourage our members to use it for ad hoc and informal based recognition, with the overall aim to increase engagement and morale within the workplace. Managers are encouraged to introduce team-based competitions. These promote healthy teamwork and see members taking part in fun activities outside of the normal day-to-day tasks. Some managers have introduced fun timesheets, memes to their teams, whilst our gamification champion hosts a weekly Friday quiz. This is sent out to all of our members on a different topic each week. So that could be anything to do with cars, films, cartoons, just anything that we feel that will get everyone's involvement on. It's an opportunity just to take 5 minutes away from their daily routine to complete. Everyone has the opportunity to be rewarded points with a weekly winner announced every Monday morning, and it really does encourage fun within the workplace. So some of the other things that we do, we not only like to use it for informal rewards on maybe a daily, weekly basis, we like to do it over the course of the year through some of our campaigns as well. So a couple of examples that I've got here on the screen. Over Easter, and we have just started our new 12 Days of Christmas today. We introduce campaigns over periods where there's a good week-long, 2-week-long opportunity to promote fun and informal activities for all of our members to get involved in. So these have included quizzes, baking competitions, puzzles, and a lot of competitions that we can obviously link to corporate social responsibility. So as I mentioned, we have just started our 2021 12 Days of Christmas. So each day, communications get cascaded out to the desk for everybody to be able to get involved in activities such as Best Jumper, which obviously with Christmas Jumper Day, I think that's tomorrow on the 10th, that's something that we will entice everyone to share photos of their Christmas jumper. Best decorated tree, favourite Christmas joke, just to name but a few of the different things that we like to do with the run up to Christmas. Each activity encourages the members to get involved with rewards in place for the winners, and it also builds up the key kind of buzzwords, as I've mentioned quite a lot, but morale and positivity in the run up to Christmas. So those are, examples of some of the more kind of informal based reward systems that we have within the service desk, but we do have some more kind of formal ones that are used by the business as a whole. So one of these that we have is our Applaud award system. So this does link with our CGI values, which you can see listed on the screen. So partnership and quality, objectivity and integrity, entrepreneurship and sharing, respect, financial strength, and corporate social responsibility. The Applaud programme enables anyone within the business to recognise fellow members who exemplify CGI values. It encourages collaboration across teams by simply clicking on the value they wish to recognise. A form is then completed and a message of why they've been recognised is sent directly to the member. The applaud certificate is emailed to the person who has been nominated, the nominee, and his or her manager. So these are then used by members as part of their annual review, and it helps them to provide evidence of all the CGI values that they've managed to achieve during the year, and shows collaboration and teamwork within the workplace. Another formal tool that we have is our member recognition scheme. The overall objective of this one is to recognise members or teams who have contributed over and above their day job. The UK member recognition scheme allows all members, regardless of their business or divisional reporting structure, a common recognition platform. The recognition is put forward and then supported by another member. And on confirmation of the recognition, the member is then also rewarded £150, which is tax-free, along with their name being called out in our all members call by the person who nominated them. And again, the all members call is something that is managed by our vice president, and they will then share the recognition, and obviously everyone within CGI who's on that call is then able to share and, you know, say well done and kind of see that there is opportunity to be recognised within the business. And one of the things, a really nice thing that has been introduced over COVID has been some of the gifts that have been sent to our members by our UK president. So a couple of examples here of what we've received, but the big one on the screen there is actually a jigsaw, a CGI specific jigsaw that was sent out to us. So it wasn't just for us to be able to enjoy, but if we had family members who wanted to get involved and use the jigsaw, they could. So my kids loved taking part in that one. We've had a number of gifts that have been chocolate orientated, you know, Easter eggs, Advent calendars now with Christmas. We had a scheme over the summer period where we had sunflower seeds sent to us, and then there were competitions in the background so that we could share photos of who managed to get the tallest sunflower. But a lot of mindfulness items that have been sent out to our homes, and CGI branded products as well, especially kind of stationery products with quite a mixture of people working remotely and working in the office currently. These have been small things that have gone a long way, showing appreciation to our members. So I thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. So I open the floor to any questions that there may be.
Hi Ros, thank you for that presentation. That was fabulous, lots of really interesting detail there, and I think we could have probably chatted about that for much longer than your allotted time, so thank you. We do have one question, which I think you kind of touched on maybe towards the beginning of your presentation, but I think it'd be really useful if we can kind of highlight it again. So one question is, from an MSP perspective, what indicators can we use to reward our staff? So I think you talked about, you looked at first time fix, call handling, so I suppose things like that, things that you use in CGI to kind of reward and recognise.
So I suppose I could go into a little bit more detail from the gamification portal as to what the analysts are getting rewarded for. So on a monthly basis, the first time fix, quality scoring and average handling time statistics are analysed, and we've got a system where the top 5% of performers within a team are rewarded with a certain amount of points, and then the next 5% are then rewarded, and then the next 5%. So it may not necessarily mean that the other members of the team are not getting rewarded for their performance. It could just be that obviously there are members that have outperformed them. So they're kind of the key KPIs that we work with, but as I've mentioned, there's quite a lot of ad hoc things that we can do. So we will look at things like someone's gone over and above, worked within a project, worked closely with service delivery managers, worked closely with new members and buddied new members coming into the desk.
So it's really about what matters to each individual organisation in terms of the value and behaviour. So, you know, anybody can set a metric that supports their outcomes. And you had the CGI dream, didn't you? So anything that supports that CGI dream, for example, you can reward and recognise. That's really brilliant. And just one final question, I think, for me, just very quickly. How often do you review the reward and recognition and get feedback to see whether it's still kind of current and valid and up to date, so people don't become tired of it? Do you kind of review it very frequently?
So I think this is why I wanted to touch upon employee satisfaction. So as you'll be aware, we've got our member satisfaction survey. So we're able on a quarterly basis to get all of that analysis, because one of the questions is around reward and recognition. So that would be one point where we'd review it. But we've got such an open forum within the desk that the champions for gamification and reward and recognition are open to being approached at any point in time by our members. So we will work with Microsoft Forms, doing all sorts of things where we can just gather feedback from our members continuously. Weirdly enough, the CSS champion, the gamification champion, is working with our third-party vendor, putting some service improvements in place right this minute. So it's an ongoing thing. It's not just once a year or as and when we think about it, it's continual.
Okay, brilliant, lovely. Well, I think that's a good point to end on. So thank you very much for joining us today. Particularly, I know you've had a very busy morning, so thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you at an SDI event again in the near future sometime.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Ros. Take care, have a good day.
And you, bye.
Bye-bye. Perfect. So thank you very much to Ros. That was a brilliant presentation there. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next presenter for today. So I'm delighted to be joined by Dorina Kosis-Questera, who is Digital Service Management Officer Director at Stefanini. So Dorina's already got her screen there, which is